Welcome back to my channel, finally. My name is Anna and this is Anna's Books and Stitches. This is a channel here on YouTube, Flosstube, whatever you want to call it, that we talk about primarily cross stitch, and I talk about books, and I talk about life, and I talk about ADHD, and I kind of just talk about whatever I want. So welcome back. It's been probably about a month since my last Flosstube. I had no intention of going this long. I meant to do 2 weeks, but it didn't end up working out that way. I always forget how hectic the last week of school is, or the last couple weeks of school is. And this year, not only was it the last couple weeks of school for my kids, it was also the last finals week for me. So school's officially completely over. We are in our second week of summer now here in Gladstone School District. But I'm finally back to talk about cross stitch and everything. So I think what I'm going to start with this time is something kind of special. And I know it's been all over Instagram and all over Flosstube already. And I was meaning to talk about it 2 weeks ago when I was supposed to film this Flosstube originally, but as you can tell, that never happened because we're here now. But what I am wanting to start with is what you have seen around, probably, that is under the hashtag Stitch for Sage. It's kind of, I don't know, it's this idea, there we go, that's what I was looking for. It's this idea that Kat's Horror and Cross Stitch, I think, is her Instagram tag and her name here on Flosstube. I will link it down here, put it exactly what it is, so you know exactly what it is. But she sent a group message to a bunch of us Flosstubers on Instagram, kind of saying that Sage at Night Spirit Studios was having a really hard time kicking cancer's ass, had just had surgery, and she wanted to kind of do something special for Sage. So what she suggested was that we each pick a digital pattern from Sage, purchase it for her, purchase multiple, kind of shower love on her, kind of letting her know monetarily that we're here to support her and she can take some time, take a break, take a breather, and no matter what, when she comes back, we will still be here ready to support her and her business because she's an amazing person. If you want to know more about Sage's kind of story, what she's dealing with, she posts about it on her Instagram every once in a while. She kind of went into a little more detail about exactly what's been going on in one of her, I guess it wasn't recent anymore, when she first came out of the surgery, she kind of talked about it. And I will post her Instagram down here. So we decided to use the hashtag Stitch for Sage, and we all picked one of her patterns and started it. We also had a couple of other people in the group chat. One of them is Kaylee Tent Stitch, and there's, another one whose name, I had a salad for lunch and it's kind of percolating. Another one, so Kaylee Tent Stitch, Instagram down here because I can't pronounce it for some reason. And another Instagrammer, Flosstuber, whose name will also be down here, have offered to raffle off some bags that they've made, some like project bags, which is super, super, super cool. I will link all the people that are kind of the big players in this situation for hashtag Stitch for Sage. That's the hashtag, by the way. Hashtag Stitch for Sage. I'll put it down here. I'll link all the big players and the important information down in the description box underneath, so you kind of can get an idea of better idea of exactly what I'm talking about. But it's a really big deal. As a cross stitch community, one of the things I love the most is that we kind of support each other with stuff like this. No other corner of the interwebs or social media nonsense have I ever seen the kind of support and just outpouring of love and compassion and empathy for people that I've seen in at least my corner of the cross stitch community. I know personally everyone I've ever interacted with in the cross stitch community has been wonderful. I've never had a bad experience yet. I mean, I'm sure there will be a time or a place or a situation where it won't be the best experience, but so far I have yet to have a bad experience. And that is one of the beautiful things about my little corner of the cross stitch community. So Stitch for Sage, go show her some love, go show her some support, order some patterns off of her website or her Etsy, both of which I will link in the description box, so we can kind of let her know that we're here, we love you, we're wanting to support you. We're also kind of talking about doing a hashtag Stitch for Sage Sundays, so we can kind of make sure that we're working on these projects once a week as it goes on and after the raffle and all of that, because it's kind of it's technically what is a SAL, but it's more of a start along than a stitch along, because we're all doing different patterns, we're all doing different things, we all have different ideas. So Stitch for Sage, hashtag Stitch for Sage Sundays if you need a day or something kind of simpler to keep you going with your Stitch for Sage projects. And that will lead me directly into my new starts, because I've got my new start for my Stitch for Sage. And well, I started it and I worked on it for like an hour. There's not a whole lot here, but this is what it's gonna look like when it's done. This is what the pattern looks like. It's one of her woodcuts and I'm absolutely obsessed with it. It's gonna be so cool when it's done. I am doing it on a 36 count Picture This Plus linen in the colorway Ale, which I thought was perfect for that kind of woodcut feel. And I'm just doing it with black DMC, and that's all I've gotten so far. 2 lines, that's it. But this material is really pretty. It's really wrinkled as well. It's a stiffer material, but I really, really like this color and the modeling. That's actually really, really true for this, at least on my phone. I know how it's kind of different on each person's monitor. But in this needle minder I got from Abby at Top Knot Stitcher, I got it to go with my, what's it called? A Way We Ride pattern, because it's a witch. I mean, on a broomstick. But, so Stitch for Sage, that's all I've got so far. This is what it'll look like when it's done. It's gonna be perfect, it's gonna be gorgeous. I just need to work on it more, which may be Stitch for Sage Sundays, maybe kind of what I use to pull this out. So that was my Stitch for Sage project, and like I said, head over to her website, check it out. There's all kinds of fun goth style stitching. I mean, it's a lot of fun. Her styles and designs are fantastic. Yeah, next new start. So I started a crap ton of projects in the last month, which, as most of you know, for me, if you've watched my videos at all, I'm not huge on new starts. I have a hard time starting things, but the last month I have started, so maybe a month and a half, so including my last video, I have started 7 new projects. 7. I don't know who I am anymore, starting all kinds of stuff. Of kind of stopped with my starting because I became obsessed with one piece, which I've been stitching monogamously since I started it. But that'll be the last of my new starts. So new start number 2, Stitch for Sage was new start number 1, is Embroidery Stitches Adventure Sampler. Okay, let me see. I love this pattern. It's super cute, but this is going to be a really good adventure sampler. Embroidery Stitches Designs. But this is going to be a really good example of how different types of fabric take dye, because this picture, I don't know if you can really tell, is done on an Aida. Okay, look how light that material is. So the called for material for this pattern is Fall by Bestitch Me. So this one is on an Aida. I started it, I got the kit from, which they still had last time I was at, stitches are coming out. Last time I was at Acorns and Threads, they still had a couple left, but I got the kit with the Bestitch Me silks and linen a while back when I was at Acorns and Threads. I might have actually shown it to you guys after I got it. I can't remember. I'm not gonna lie to you. I will post these videos, watch it a million times, trying to make sure I get all of my hashtags and people tags and everything in my description box. And after it's posted, completely done, I completely forget everything that I've talked about. It's like I go into this fugue state while I'm doing it, and afterwards it's like it never happened. This is really weird. But that's beside the point. So, Adventure Sampler, Embroidery Stitches. Super light on the Aida. This, the called for fabric. Look at the difference. Look how dark this is. I mean, I love the modeling. It's beautiful. But all I've gotten started so far is that it's the left side. One thing I am, y'all, that's the back, which is why I was like, oh no, my stitches are coming out. Wait. Is that the back? Yeah, that's the back. I'm losing it, guys. Stitches aren't coming out. I mean, they actually might be a little bit, but it's because it was the back. That's why I was a little afraid. So there we go. I'm kind of worried, like you can see it way better here, and I did it. I don't normally start on the right-hand side. Is that the right-hand side? Yeah, that's the right-hand side. But I wanted to, that's where I wanted that orange apparently. So yeah, this is the same fabric. This is Fall by Bestitch Me. And this is let's check. This is a 36 count linen. That's my favorite count. It's Edinburgh linen. I love Edinburgh linen. It's got it's always got a really nice feel to it. So that's all I have started so far. I'm worried about this green blending into the rest of the green, but we'll see how it goes. And this guy, my little sushi, that's from Uncanny Arcanist. I love him, the little guy. Uncanny Arcanist is awesome too, but I kind of love him too. He's fantastic. What am I talking about? So I love this little guy. Uncanny Arcanist. He's a rock star. I love his needle minders and his scissor sheaths and all kinds. He's great. Leather and all of it. And it's all done with, well, not Bestitch Me silks, which are really pretty. It's the first time I've worked with Bestitch Me silks, and they're great. There's also 2 non-silks in here. There is this one, which is Ohio Sky by Gentle Arts. It's for the cloud, so it's perfect. For the rain cloud, it's like a nice variegated, over-dyed white gray. And then there's also B5200 Ultra White, or whatever it's called. the rest of them are beautiful silks. And so that's that one. The next one I started is called I Am No Bird. It's by Modern Folk Embroidery. Jane Eyre is probably one of my, not probably, is one of my all-time favorite books. I know people will not necessarily agree with me on there that it's amazing, but I don't care. I love the just the rawness of the emotions in that book. It kind of doesn't shy away from the fact that life is messy, that people are broken, that sometimes we have to wait. We have to stick up for ourselves. We have to really make the decision to prioritize what we want and fight for what that is. But Jane Eyre, I love it. Charlotte Bronte, I love that book. So the next piece, I Am No Bird by Modern Folk Embroidery. This is what the design looks like. And it's fantastic. Nothing really else to say about it. Modern Folk Embroidery is amazing. Simple as that. So all I've got so far is this. Let me see. You can't really see the variegation very well, but it's definitely a nicely variegated floss that I'm using. I am using Chalkboard by Roxy Flossco. This is actually the first Roxy Flossco that I ordered. You can't really, you can kind of see it. I can get my face out of there. But it's not got a nice light variegation. I don't know, you can't really tell. But this fabric, which is even more perfect, it is, it's absolutely gorgeous. And it's, oh God, this lighting is showing the modeling really, really well. It's wrinkled, but I don't care. It's Needle and Flax. It's a 32 count linen from Needle and Flax. And it's called Thornfield, you guys. If you've read Jane Eyre, you understand the reasoning behind the fact that I saw this material on her website and was like, I have to have that for my Jane Eyre piece. All she had left was a fat half in the 32 count. So I bought it because it was a necessity. I had to have it for this piece. And not only that, it's a really, really nice neutral. So I'm not mad about having a bunch of it left. So yeah, it's called Thornfield and it's beautiful and it's gonna be great when it's done. I'm really excited. They let my dog upstairs again. So that is I Am No Bird by Modern Folk Embroidery. The next new start is, it's Quirky Quaker that I really should have been able to finish when I started it, but I didn't for whatever reason, and I haven't worked on it since. But it is the skeleton, Skelly Boy. That's what my DM when I played D&D back in the day always called the skeletons Skelly Boys, B-O-I. So it's Quirky Quaker, Skelly Boy by Darling and Whimsy Designs. I love these Quirky Quakers, they're so much fun. And I actually got this in a stitch kit pass from Michelle Bendy Stitcher. And I don't know, it's a mystery fabric. I can't remember what it was that she sent. I mean, it's a beautiful color. I don't know what the count is. I want to say it's a 36 count. Yeah, I want to say it's probably a 36 count, but this is all I've got so far. It's in this cute little 3-inch hoop. And yeah, I just need to finish it. I love it. It's super cute. And I'm considering once I'm done with it, stitch kit passing it myself, just kind of sending it along its merry way, and we can kind of, I don't know, might be fun. I've never really done anything like that before, but it was stitch kit passed to me, so I figure why not stitch kit pass it to somebody else. The next project I am working on that I started is the one that have been monogamously stitching. I am straight up obsessed with this pattern. I got it in the last Starlight Stitchery box, and their latest, the Pirate box, which was fantastic. I didn't do an unboxing video of that because I got it super late, and then I had to go to my oldest kid's 8th grade graduation immediately. So all I really got to do is I tore it open, looked at what was in there, fell in love with this pattern, and then had to leave basically. So I didn't really get a chance to do a unboxing because when I got back from the 8th grade graduation, I immediately started this pattern because I happened to have material that was perfect for it. So, are you guys ready? Are you ready? I don't think you're ready. Look at it. It is a pirate Quaker, you guys. Look at this little rat. How adorable is that little guy? And it's fantastic. And it's only what's this, 89 by 98, so it's not even big. So it's fantastic. I'm doing it on a 32 count, so it's not even gonna, it's gonna be like 6 by 7 when it's done. It's gonna be great. And she designed this with all of the floss from the box, which I really love that she does when she does designs for the Starlight Stitchery boxes, because then you have something to use the floss for. Like the floss for these boxes is always, I mean, it's Forbidden Fiber Co., which as you guys know is one of my absolute favorites, but it's beautiful. It's always beautiful floss. But a lot of the designers don't use the floss in their patterns, which I'm not knocking. All the patterns are always fantastic, but Michelle really likes to use all of the different thread colors in her patterns so you have something to use them on. But so I am doing this on the Fabric of the Month from Bestitch Me for April. Yeah, June hasn't gotten here yet. So for April. And it just happened to be absolutely 100% perfect. So first, I'm going to show you the fabric because it's beautiful. Okay. This one's not picking up great. It's definitely got a little more, it's a little warmer than it's showing up in my phone. I'd say it's got a little more pink in it. I don't know, but it's really pretty. Really nice modeling. Okay, are you guys ready for where I'm at? So Starlight Stitchery box came, I want to say 2 weeks ago, I think, something like that. Yeah, it was right, it's like June 13th, I think is what it was. So I've been working on this, basically only this, since then, and this is where I'm at. I'm over halfway done, y'all. I've only got this, there's this big motif here, there's a big motif here, and then there's some small stuff in the middle. And then I'm done. Like, I haven't been working on anything else, just because I mean, you can see that variegation in that blue floss. I'll show it to you, and it's all the floss here in a second. And you can kind of see the variegation in the black. But the blue and the black have the most variegation in them for sure. But I'm almost done. And I think I'm gonna monogamously stitch on this until it's done, because then I will have a really cool piece to hang up and I'll be really excited about it. And look how much material I have left. That's the beauty of these smaller patterns. It takes up a tiny little piece and it's great. And I really love that it all fits inside of my my nerd tube. This is I bought more nerd tubes, you guys, because I just didn't have enough. I bought 2 yellow ones, I think. Yeah. So it fits in my nerd hoop completely, and it's fantastic, and I'm obsessed. And Michelle, this pattern's amazing. I know I've told you that already, but I love it. And I can't wait to be done. So it can be done, and I can be really excited because it's really cool. Okay, now the floss, because it's important. I was gonna use the material that came in the box too, so it would be all Starlight Stitchery Pirate Box stuff. But I felt that that fabric was a little too light, and the light would have kind of gotten lost. So these are all the glosses. Definitely see the variegation in the blue and the black. So the black is called Jolly Roger. The blue is called Briny Deep. Yeah. The white is called Skull and Crossbones. It's definitely like a warm white, almost an off-white. There's some kind of almost griminess is the best way to describe the variegation in that. And then there's Pieces of 8, which is perfect. And No Quarter, which is the red, which makes sense. And this little guy is the needle minder that came in the box. It's a little piece of 8. It's 3D printed. It's really great. I love it. It's a nice little guy. It's nice and light, but the magnet's fantastic. So yeah, that is the last new start that I have so far since last time. Okie dokie artichoke. I got all those set up and ready to go, but I didn't get any of my other stuff ready to go. Okay, next one that I worked on, excuse me, is, sorry, that was my butt. You're welcome, I guess. It's a vanity sampler. We talked about this one a lot last time because I'm still obsessed with the colorway that Cam the Stitcher converted this into, because it's just, I just love these colors. They're so, so beautiful. So this is what it's gonna look like. What am I talking about? This is what it looked like last time. I'll just do that because I'm already starting to point over here. This is what it looked like last time I showed it to you guys. So you kind of get an idea of what the colorway looks like. And don't look at that, that was the pattern. Shh. Let me pull out what it looks like. What it's supposed to look like. This is the design. So this design, I love it. I really love what it says. It's beautiful. Just how it's charted, the colors that it's charted in. So it's Vanity Sampler by Hello from Liz Matthews. And this is what it's supposed to look like when it's done. This is what it looked like last time. And this is what it looks like now. Hold on, let me. Yes, it's in the Q-snap. It was loosened. It's fine. Yeah, I really like it. I am doing this on 36 count espresso by Fiber on a Whim, I think. I think that's what the colorway is. I'll put the name down here because I'm pretty sure it's espresso, but I could be wrong. But yeah, I didn't get a whole lot done on this because I started a bunch of new stuff because you know how it goes. But it's really pretty and I'm really excited. I'm really excited about how it's gonna look because obviously it's gonna be gorge. I'm really excited about the color conversion that Cam the Stitcher did. I am really excited about the design. I'm really excited about my fabric choice. It all is just gonna look fantastic once I start working on it. Nope, I'm not zipping that back up because I don't want to. It's hot in here. I'm sweating. You can tell my forehead's all shiny. Okay, next is the hooving sew. I actually worked on it, guys. Can you believe that? I actually worked on it. I'm still super far behind, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna take it out of the hoop just because so you can kind of get a better view of what it looks like. This hoop I actually got at Goodwill. It is, it's got one of those inner little flippy things, so it holds the fabric really tight. I am kind of nervous about what it's going to do to my stitches, but it's fine. So this is what this looked like last time I showed it to you guys. I'm pretty sure all I had was the top like third of the TARDIS in adipose and however much is left of handles. So this is what it looks like. This is where we're at as far as the releases go. I don't even remember. I think it's the TARDIS, the adipose and handles, the scarf, the 2 different types of glasses, and the silence tally marks, and that is I think what's left. But this is what it is, so that'll tell you if I'm right or not. And this is where I'm at now. My little TARDIS needle winder. So you've got adipose and a little bit of handles. And I've done more of the TARDIS. Yay! So I finished that window, or that, not window. I finished the white for the police box sign label thing, and I finished the blue outline around it, one of the blue outlines, and then I also did the full just outline of that one side of where how big the TARDIS is, because I wanted to know where the scarf was going to go underneath. Obviously I didn't actually start the scarf, but it's fine. I worked on it, and that's what matters most. Next project that I worked on is Move Forward in Love by Modern Silk Embroidery. The last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I don't remember. The last couple weeks of the school year, I went on 2 separate school trips with my kids to from Portland metro area up to Seattle. One was for the 8th grade with my oldest for their 8th grade music trip. So all of the 8th graders that were in choir and band got to take a trip to Seattle, and we did the Space Needle, we did the Chihuly Glass Museum, we did the Museum of Pop Culture, I think is what it's called. Mopop, I think is what they call it. Or something like that, whatever. It was really cool. We had a lot of fun. I'm lucky my kids and their friends like me. They all think I'm cool or something. I don't even know. They want me to go on these trips, which is always a lot of fun. And I'm really lucky to be able to go on these trips. But I did a lot of stitching on the bus on the way there and back. And that's where I actually did most of the stitching for this. I also had a bit of a kerfuffle. I love that word, kerfuffle, because I realized that I had messed up. So this is what it looked like before I started all of the bust stitching. So this is where I started it a couple weeks ago. I don't know if this is where it was at last time. I can't remember if I shared it on the last video or not, because I can't remember exactly when I posted the last video. But so this is where it was before the bus trips. This is where I was. Let's put it on this side. We'll do both. So I'm gonna have the picture of where it was before the bus trips, and this is where I realized I'd fucked up. Pardon the language, or don't, whatever. So this is where I realized I'd fucked up and was like, shit, I don't know how to fix this. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to completely tear this whole situation out. All of this red is wrong. Like, I was done. I was pissed. And then I was like, okay, wait. I might be able to figure this out in a way where I don't have to completely tear all the red out. And so here, I think I have a picture of where I kind of figured out how to fix it without having to tear everything out. I did end up having to tear out, I want to say 2.5 rows of the orange, just because of it was in the orange that I realized I was wrong. And so I ended up having to tear out like a couple of rows of orange, but that was it, because I figured out that I was off by, I think it was 3 stitches on the top row of the red. So the very top of the medallion, the top row of the red, I realized I was off by 3 on one side or the other. And if I was off, and so I was like, okay, figure out which side it's on and then I'll figure out what to do. So it turns out I was off on, I can't remember what side. I'll circle it on this picture. It's the easiest way to figure it out. And I was able to adjust. So, disaster averted. I figured it out. This is where it's at now. My issue now is you can't read forward. The white blends into the yellow. So what I think I'm gonna have to do is backstitch it. I'm not exactly sure what color to backstitch it with. If you have a suggestion, post it in the comments. I would more than appreciate it. But the medallion's almost done. I'm really excited about that. I'm really happy with how it's turning out. The stitching's great. This is on a 32 count Lavender Zweigart even weave that I bought off of Etsy. I can't remember which shop I bought it from. But this is just the DMC conversion. And this is what it's gonna look like when it's done. Like I said, it's Modern Folk Embroidery. It's their Pride piece from last year, 2022, I believe. It could be 2021. I'll post it down here, what year it is, but I think it was 2022. So this is how far I'm at. I'm doing the whole piece, not just the medallion. It's a lot of stitching, but it's gonna look amazing when it's done. Yeah. That was Move Forward in Love by Modern Folk Embroidery. Next, I worked on my Pokemon piece. Again, I didn't do a lot. I'm not really feeling this one right now. I did start rewatching Pokemon Indigo League, so, you know, I was trying to get into the mood and stitch this, and I just wasn't feeling it. So this is what this is gonna look like when it's done. It is the Lord Libidin Epic Gen 1 Pokemon. I'm doing the extended version, but I'm not doing the background color. So this is what it'll look like when it's done. Got sweat dripping down my back, which is disgusting. This is what it looked like last time. And this is where I'm at now. Like I said, I didn't do a whole lot, but I did definitely get some progress in there. You can see Charmander's foot starting to come through. And Venusaur's flower is starting to show more as well. I love that all of the Bulbasaur evolutions, he's still my favorite, always and forever. Bulbasaur is the OG. I love that they all have these little teeth. It's hilarious. But yeah, Charmander's starting to show. And I've got more. Look at my little Bulbasaur needleminder. I love him. And Umbreon. I've got more to do. Obviously, a lot more to do. And these are both Uncanny Arcanist needleminders. They're beautiful. But I got some done. It's best that can be said right now is I made progress. Even if it was minor progress, I made progress. And my last one that I worked on is 100 Ways to Love by Jane. 100, y'all. I can't speak right now. 100 Ways by Plum Street Samplers. It's a Jane Austen piece. And it's really, really pretty. I love this piece. I like how it's just, I don't know, what's the word that I'm looking for? I don't know. I love it. And I love Jane Austen. She's my homegirl. And this is what it looked like last time. Right here. I didn't get a whole lot done. I pulled this one out originally because I'm close, like, if I really put the time into this, I could get this finished relatively quickly. Because I've got more than half of the actual heavily stitched area done. I'm like to here. I'll show you in a second. I'm like to here of this heavily stitched area. And then after that's done, it's just words. So if I really wanted to put the time into it, I could get this done relatively quickly. And that was my theory. That was my plan. That was my idea. And then the pirate box got here and Michelle screwed everything up. I blame you, Michelle. In the best possible way. So this is what it looked like last time. I'm gonna take it out of the Nerge so you can get a better feel for what it looks like. And this is where I'm at now. I put in a couple of rows. Honestly, I think I put in like 6 stitches. I'm not even exaggerating. I think I put in like 6 stitches, like right here. That was it. It's really pretty though. But this is what it looked like last time. Can't really see the white very well. I really do want to say it was maybe 5 or 6 stitches. I think I did end up having to frog some stuff. That may be part of it. I don't know. But it's pretty, and I just need to get it done. This will be, I think, my next monogamous stitch. Just because, like I said, once this is done, it's just words. And this is on a 32 count rose linen or something. I'll put it down here. I can't remember exactly what it's called. That I got off of 123 Stitch. Yeah. So that is all of my whips. I didn't actually finish anything since the last time. I haven't fully finished anything either. Shh, don't judge me. What else? So, I mean, that's all of my actual like stitching. So if you wanted to bounce, now's the time. If you don't want to hear about acquisitions or life update or books or anything like that, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming back. If you're returning, if you've already subscribed and you're here again, kind of watching the nonsense unfold as it does. If you're new, thank you for checking me out. I really appreciate it. Yeah. On to acquisitions. All right, so I already showed my Stitch for Sage. The fabric for that was an acquisition, obviously, because I had to buy fabric for that. And some of the Starlight Stitchery Pirate Box stuff or acquisitions. The rest of the box is downstairs. So I'm not gonna go get it. Sorry. And I'll show you the rest of my acquisitions. I'm gonna start with this project that's in here. It's a fully kitted project that I accidentally fully kitted at Acorns and Threads. Because honestly, I fell in love with this fabric. Did I take the picture? Where is the tag? Yo. I hope the tag was still in here for this. Well, I don't have the name for this material. I know it's a Bestitch Me material. I will find it and put the name down here of the colorway for this material, and the count for it, because it's absolutely beautiful. I'm gonna take it out of the nerd tube. Because I prepped this because I was gonna start this project, and then I didn't for whatever reason. Come on. Take my, like there's even a needle and needle minder on it already. Take that off. So this is the fabric. Ooh, this is not coming across great. This fabric is way more pink in real life. Like everything has a pink, this whole fabric has a pink undertone to it. Let's see if I can get a good, nope, it's not coming across great, but it's gorgeous. I saw this at Acorns and Threads and was like, I absolutely freaking need this material. Did I need new material at that point? No. Did I have to have this? Uh-huh. Because it's gorgeous. And then I was looking around some more, and as you do at Acorns and Threads or any OMS, and I saw something that I had been looking at for a while. The last couple of times I was there, I was looking at this pattern, and the floss pack that it comes with. It's an Ink Circles design, and it's one that I really, really like. It's one of her roll your own charts, which if you've never done a roll your own, you basically just kind of pick one color and go from there kind of thing. But it's Victorian license. I keep wanting to call it Victorian lace, but that's not what it's called. Victorian license is what it's called. So Victorian license, it's absolutely gorgeous. Victorian license by Ink Circles. And so that was the fabric, and it came, they had at Acorns and Threads a floss pack already kitted up for it, because it's stitched in Cosmo, and I've never tried Cosmo, and Michelle Bendy Stitchy never shuts up about Cosmo. Again, I mean that in the nicest, most loving way possible, because she talks about how amazing it is all the time. And it's done with the Cosmo variegated threads, and I figured, since they only sell Cosmo at Acorns and Threads in floss packs for specific designs, so I bought this pack. Look at these colors, y'all. I'm gonna do them individually. This one, you can't really tell, but it's, here we go. Got purples and greens, a little bit of green, a little bit of dark blue, a little bit of brown. That one's really pretty. And then there's the variegated browns, and then the pinks, the tone, like earthy tone pinks, and the oranges, earthy tone oranges. I guess that's more of like salmony colors. This one's just a slightly variegated purple, which is my favorite. Not really, I just love purple, you guys know. And then this one is a more heavily blue purple variegation. It's beautiful. So yeah, that is a fully kitted project that I accidentally fully kitted at Acorns and Threads. Cosmo Floss, I'm really excited to try the Cosmo Floss. I've got floss drops in there already to the little Adam Hart cross stitch. I've got a couple of their thread hearts. These ones in there. So these are the ones I use for my non-DMC, or for when I have DMC in more than one container. Again, I buy their seconds. They're the ones that are not quite full price sale worthy for whatever reason. Some of them aren't cut quite right. Some of them have sharp edges. They work great for me, and I haven't ever really come across one that wasn't usable. So I'm not going to complain for half price because they're great. I love Adam Hart cross stitch. I'm like, give me all of the floss drops. Put this all back in this bag so I don't lose anything. Ah, I'm already losing stuff, guys. Oh, I thought I saw it good. Where did it go? There it is. Okay, next thing that I got was another piece of fabric. I'm just going to show you guys all the fabric that I bought recently. This is by Lappin Loops Linen. It's 36 count in the colorway Wolfman. I'll just show this to you. Acorns and Threads. This was a fat half at the store, but I didn't want to pay for a fat half because it's expensive. So I was like, can I just get half of that? And they said yes. Again, this has definitely got more pink undertones that you're not picking up very well, but it is absolutely gorgeous fabric. Look at that modeling. I have no idea what I'm going to use it for, but it's fine. It's beautiful material. It'll get used for something. I'm obsessed with it. The next piece of fabric that I bought this when I bought the fabric for Stitch for Sage, the Picture This Plus Ale fabric, because I got a fat 1/8 of that one because it was perfect size for my pattern. But it can't come by itself. And this fabric was on my wish list and it was on sale. So I was like, yes, please. It's a 36 count Edinburgh linen by Fiber on a Whim in the colorway Dusk. That's pretty true. It's definitely it's more blue than gray. It's a nice blue gray, but it's really pretty. I think I'm gonna put the Let's Make a Statement pieces by Dee's 20 Stitches on here. I think they'll be really nice on this fabric because it's modeled, but it's not super heavily modeled. So it's Dusk, 36 count Edinburgh linen by Fiber on a Whim. The last things I have are my June Color and Cotton thread clubs. I'm in the 5 skein clubs for both the all colors and the primitive neutrals. These are the all colors. I really am liking these. These honestly, for me, feel relatively primitive for their all colors, personally. So there's a purple, a blue. I've got so much blue Color and Cotton floss, you guys. There has been at least one blue in every single pack of Color and Cotton floss that I've gotten. A gray, I think I've got like 4 or 5 grays too. A gray, a light sagey green, and a nice cream color. And then for the primitives, not putting those back in their baggie. These are much darker than the other ones, which I like. Last month, they were all very, the 2 different packs were so similar that it was kind of a letdown. This month, they're very different. I mean, there's still a gray and a blue in this one, but there's also a black, which I love having blacks. And I mean, I guess they're the same. There's a cream and like this one, a creamy colored one, and the brown. These are really pretty. So the theme this month, I think, is fibercraft, because this one's called Embroidery hoop. And then there's burlap and paisley, iron, featherweight, and then the other ones are macrame, buttons, thimble, bobbins, and patchwork. It might be, no, it's just definitely because that one was called Embroidery hoop, but I think it's just a fiber arts kind of themed box. But yeah, that is all of my acquisitions so far, and I'm actually going to pause, and I will be right back. All right, I'm back. Where was I? Oh, acquisitions. Should I do all of those? So I guess the next things I really have to go into are going to be books, which I haven't really done a whole lot of reading. I started a book that I got more than halfway through and just stopped reading it, which I actually do that quite a lot. It's an ADHD thing, I'm pretty sure. But it's really good. I will do my best to finish it before the next Flosstube, which will hopefully be in 2 weeks. And so I can talk about it. I can't, the name of it's all gone off the top of my head. But, so I guess this kind of is acquisitions, but it's also books. I was influenced by Julie, Kansas City girl in a Colorado world, and bought this. I'm excited to read it. I bought this instead of, and waited, even though it was first printing was out of stock everywhere, and waited to get one because I like to collect trophies. I don't mind reading on my Kindle, but I'm old school. I like a hardback book, me. So I waited and got it, and I haven't started it yet, but I will. Hopefully when I'm done with the book that I need to finish. So yeah, Julie, I blame you. But again, in the most loving way possible. The next thing really is just live stuff, kind of catching up with you guys. I haven't really been super active on Instagram either recently. Now that school is over for everybody and there's less on my plate, I've really been trying to lock in with my training. Like I mentioned 2 videos ago, I am training for a bodybuilding competition. Still don't know when my show date is going to be. My guess would either be June or September of next year, and middle to end of next year for sure, because I'm not going to be cutting through tax season, because that would just be idiotic. Like, that would be like, why am I trying to kill myself? Because that was what would end up happening. It's way too much stress. So I'll probably wait until after tax season to start my cut, and I'm not exactly sure what my coach is going to want as far as that goes now. But training's going great. I am My body's doing a lot of changing. I will have, as of tomorrow, June 26th, I will have been back with my coach for exactly 2 months. I'm gonna post a couple of pictures up for anybody that cares. If you don't want to, if like there's a common consensus that nobody actually cares and nobody wants to see these pictures, like let me know in the comments. I mean, this is a huge part of my life and this is my channel, so I may still end up talking about it, but if there's a huge consensus that people like just don't care, then I won't talk about it. But so this picture here so the first check-in with my coach versus the most recent check-in with my coach. First one's gonna be on the left, the most recent's gonna be on the right, because that's how you're supposed to do before and afters. Before comes first, after comes second. And in the Western world, in the English at least, we read from left to right. So before, after. That's my little soapbox, and now I'm done. So this is my before and current, basically, of where the progress that I've made. And honestly, I haven't, weight-wise, I haven't changed a whole lot. I wanna say, depending on the day, I'm somewhere between 5 and 10 pounds different from when I started in April. So it's not, I mean, really, my body's it's called recomping. I'm changing the composition, the fat to muscle composition in my body, which sometimes your weight isn't gonna change. And that's why it's so important to not really focus on that number for anything more than a data point. That number means nothing. I weigh right now, totally open. I weighed myself this morning. I weigh 145 pounds. I have weighed 145 pounds in several different periods of my life, and my body has been completely different every single time. Honestly, right now my figure looks the best that I think it ever has, and I weigh 15 pounds more than what I used to be comfortable with as my maximum weight. And so that just kind of says your weight is just a number. It's a data point. I weigh myself every single day, and I use the data point, because that's all that number is to me, because we're trying to gain muscle. So I'm actually eating 2,300 calories right now, and still losing weight. I've got a body that's built for this. I know what I'm doing. My coach is great. But that's also to say that a lot of people think that bodybuilding, especially for women, or to look a certain way, especially for women, you have to eat next to nothing. I'm eating 2,300 calories a day. That's a lot of food, especially if I'm eating whole foods, like nutrient-dense foods. The salad I had earlier, bowl as big as my head, 300 or 400 calories. That was it. And it filled me up. I try to weigh myself every day so we can track the trend of my weight. Is it going up? Is it going down? Is it going up really quickly? Is it going down really quickly? So we can kind of figure out how to adjust things, how to adjust my diet, how to adjust my cardio or my training to kind of get us where we want to be. Because right now we're kind of wanting me to either stay where I'm at, but get bigger, or start to get very, very slowly gain weight so I can gain more muscle. I also wanted to show you, because I was thinking about this, I did my last bodybuilding show almost exactly 9 years ago. It's end of June in 2014. And it's crazy the difference in the way my body's shaped now that it's almost 10 years worth of training. I mean, not as heavy, not as constant, but off and on, and relatively regular, at least, of weight training. And so this is what I looked like at my show last time. I think I showed this picture before. So So that's that. And this is what I looked like a couple of days ago when I was practicing my posing for wellness division, which is the division I'm doing this time. I did figure last time. So this is when I was practicing my posing. And honestly, I feel like I look better now than I did when I was on stage 9 years ago. It's insane to me. And this picture, the next picture I'm going to show you is 10 years ago, almost exactly. I think the 27th. So that'll be Tuesday, which is probably the day this video will actually go live. Exactly 10 years ago. It won't be exactly 10 years, but whatever. So this is 10 years ago. I weighed 130.5 in this picture on the left, and this picture on the right, I'll probably take tomorrow morning, is where I'm at now, 145-ish pounds. I never want to look like this again. I'm so small and skinny, fat, I guess is the term that's used, because I was tiny. I weighed 130 pounds, so I definitely had some muscle. And this isn't to say that this is a bad look. If this is what your goal is, that's fantastic. But this isn't what my goal is. Not anymore. But the difference is just, it's crazy to me, how far I've come in the last 10 years. But yeah, I've only got up to go, and I'm super, super excited about that. I'm actually in the process of picking out a posing suit for posing practice for my posing routine for the stage, because that's something that we need to practice a lot, because wellness posing is completely foreign to me. So the only thing really to do is practice. So yeah, that's where my little bodybuilding update for people who were wondering. And yeah, so the other big life update that's kind of coming up is my kids leave for their dads in about a week. They'll be gone all of July, which is gonna be weird. This will be the first time in my entire life that I have lived 100% by myself. First time in my entire life. And yes, it'll only be a month, so technically I'm not living by myself, but it's a month that I will be completely alone. And it's the first time in my entire life. I don't know how that's gonna go. I don't know if I'm gonna spiral into a depression. I don't know if I'm gonna enjoy the freedom and the space. Like, I have no idea. But it'll definitely be an experience, and I will keep you updated on that. I started with my new therapist, and he is awesome. He's really kind of helped me I'm also in a much better place, as you probably can tell just from the way that this is flowing, that I was last time. I talked to my doctor about my hormones, and she gave me it's a Celexa. It's an anti-anxiety, antidepressant medication that I'm just going to be taking from day 15 of my cycle to 1 to 3 days into menstruation, because my hormones are going crazy as far as it's affecting my mental health. And she has called them estrogen storms, is what she said was probably happening. But I started taking it with this last cycle, and the first couple days were hard because just getting used to the meds, but it was a game changer, you guys. Like, there was one day where I could feel myself kind of trying to spiral back into it, the way that I was feeling a couple months, like, not this, that I talked about last time in my last video. But it definitely was, I was able to get it back under control, and that was amazing. So yeah, I'm doing a lot better mentally, physically. Upper body's looking great. Cross stitch is going great. Life is going great. Oh, I even got a note about this. I am officially registered for the Jane Austen Society of North America's annual grand meeting in Colorado. I am so excited. It's in November. It's the weekend before my birthday. My mom and I are going together. It's gonna be amazing. I'm gonna take all of my Jane Austen stitching with me. My mom and I are taking a Jane Austen embroidery class as part of the convention. Like, it's gonna be so good. I'm so excited, you guys. I can't believe I forgot to talk about that. I'll probably hit more on that next time, kind of go through what that's gonna look like a little bit at least. But yeah, I appreciate you guys showing up. I appreciate you if you've made it this far. It's gonna be another long one. That's just the story of my life, and hopefully that doesn't bother you. And if it does, well, I don't know what to tell you. But anyways, thanks for showing up, guys. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate you. I love you all, and you're all amazing. And I hope you have a fantastic, wonderful day, the best day available to you, or evening, or morning, or whatever time of day it is. And I will see you guys again soon. Have a good one.